And every week, we help you elevate your mindset, be at your best, and radically expand your life and business. And today's topic is all about wanting more and giving yourself permission to actually want more. Step out of the box so you can unlock the next level you. Now, if you're a high achieving woman who looks successful on the outside but feels something might be missing, maybe you feel guilty for wanting more than just the good life you already have, or perhaps you keep shrinking to keep others comfortable and you don't want them to feel in a state of dis-ease around you. This session is for you. But before we dive in, tell me where you are coming in from. If you are watching by replay, type in replay in the chat. And if it's your very first time, type in first time in the chat, because I thank you for being here and I truly do appreciate your presence. Now, who am I? Some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm Larisa McCooch, Canada's leading abundance mentor, and I help high-achieving professional women unlock more clarity, more confidence, and fulfillment by stepping into their true selves and building a life and business they absolutely love. Now, so often I think about contrast. And there's contrast between where we were or where we are and where we want to be. If you think of the current or the past, so often if you're feeling like you can't unlock this next level of you, if you feel like you don't have permission to move forward, you're probably stuck following the rules. I know it, growing up, all I did was want to follow all the rules and do a good job, be a good girl, so I wouldn't get in trouble. I would check all the boxes. If you've ever made to-do lists, maybe you can relate. You're like, I just got to get it all done, check all the boxes, highlight all the things off my list. I want to just do it all right. But you start wandering through this life like you're living it on autopilot, not truly being present and within yourself. And you might also be living on other people's timelines, expectations, and standards, as I was, and feeling selfish or guilty for desiring more because, you've already got more than so many others. Isn't it enough? And I think it's so easy to get caught in this trap when all you want to do is claim the real desires you have without shame and be able to identify them. Sometimes you might not even be able to see what they are. Redefine success on your terms. Not what your mama wants, not what your sister wants, not what your husband wants, not what your kids want, but what does success really mean to you? Really, truly know what that is. Make decisions from a place of true alignment, not obligation, and lead with authenticity, abundance, and grace. And so it's like you might be having this beautiful life in this gorgeous house, but you're only in this foyer. You have this beautiful vision, but it's not really something that you can look at because you're stuck in one part of the house. You sense there's beautiful rooms, there's so much opportunity, but you haven't stepped into it yet. And that is the key word, yet. So wanting more just means that you're ready to explore these things that have not yet happened in your life. So I want to look at a couple of definitions. Radical. Okay. Radical. We talk about this idea of radically expanding your life at the Abundance Academy. It's our tagline. And the word radical at its root level is it's very fundamental. It's not surface level improvement. It's about deep identity level change. Okay. It's about you making a dramatic and big shift. It's not incremental improvement. It's like a huge, dramatic shift. And this dramatic shift that happens in your life can only happen when you are willing to go above and beyond. Expansion, this is about growing beyond your current limits. It's about encompassing more, not stuffing your life full of stuff, but encompassing more joy, more abundance, more of you and who you truly are. And neuroscience, it shows that our brains crave certainty and safety. And the unconscious mind's job is to protect you. So even if you keep staying stuck in what's familiar, your body and your brain is going to be like, yeah, I'm being protected. I'm being protected. Stay here. It's comfortable. Stay here. It's comfortable. But what's familiar isn't always what's fulfilling. And rarely is it ever truly fulfilling because it's familiar because you're used to it. It's not necessarily serving you to the best of your ability. Now, Dr. Joe Dispenza and a lot of other people in this field, they show that as soon as you start to begin to imagine and emotionally experience this new, bright, beautiful future, our brains, they literally begin to rewire as though the future is happening. So your brain can't tell the difference between what's real and what's imagined. And so the first step to unlocking the next level of you is getting a picture and running that picture in your mind. So, when it comes to this idea of giving or gifting yourself permission to want more, to unlock this next level of you, not where you are, but be and see and feel and experience what you're truly capable of and who you're truly capable of being, what you need to know is wanting more is not greedy. Wanting more is not greedy. This is about growth. And so often, high achieving women feel guilty for wanting more, especially when life already looks good on the surface. But it's not a selfish or ungrateful thing. It actually means your soul, your energy field is evolving because desire is a sign of aliveness. It is your inner compass saying there's something bigger, there's something deeper, there's your next level of success waiting for you. And suppressing it, it just leads to resentment, to burnout, to disconnection. But honoring it leads to this sense of expansion, joy, and fulfillment. And so what happens is your unconscious mind, one of the prime directives of your unconscious mind, and we do a lot of work with the unconscious mind in our Hypnotize Yourself to Success series, in our mindset trainings. We have Monday night mindset calls where we really start to look at the nuances and the depth of what the unconscious mind is and how it works and how you can reprogram it. But one of the prime directives that you need to know, it's like the laws of how the unconscious mind works, is the unconscious mind always wants more. It's programmed to continually want more. So it's not greedy to want more. It's actually part of your inner wiring. It's how you're built. It's how you're designed. And wanting more is actually a responsibility. It's not just a luxury. If you're meant to lead and to serve at a higher level, it's your responsibility to go do that because you will help so many people along the way. Next thing I want you to know is guilt is a learned emotion. Okay. Guilt is a learned emotion. Now, guilt isn't your natural state. It is a program. From a very early age, just think of when you popped out of your mama's womb, you didn't pop out going, I feel so guilty. You were like, cry, cry, cry. Give me cuddles. Give me food. Give me soothing. I am here. I am ready. Serve me. There was no guilt involved. You were just full of love. And from this very early age, as we grew up, we were taught to be good girls and perhaps put others first, not to rock the boat. And so we learned how to invite guilt into our lives. When we think of choosing ourselves, our dreams, our desires, we might feel guilt or fear or rejection. But what happens is when you're choosing yourself, that doesn't mean other people are going to suffer. And so often our brain goes, oh, if I choose myself, they'll suffer or they'll lose out. There won't be enough for everyone else. But that's not true. The truth is your dreams don't require sacrifice. They require self-honoring. And when you start to give yourself permission, you unlearn how to be guilty, how to have this guilt follow you around, and you replace it with self-permission, this emotional sovereignty, all of a sudden, you not only help yourself, but you can help so many other people because you're being the person, you're doing the things that God put you on this earth to do. And you were never meant to shrink for anyone else's comfort. Guilt is a false alarm. So growth is not wrong. Nothing wrong with growth. Okay. Third thing I want you to know is identity is a huge missing link. When you give yourself permission to want more, when you unlock this next level of you, most women set goals based on what they think they want, but they keep operating from who they've always been. It's like, okay, I want this goal to earn this next level of money. I want this big goal to to have my business at this level. I want this goal to take my family on a beautiful vacation, a 5-star luxury experience. Okay, you might set these goals, but if you have a goal up here and you are operating from where you've been, what happens is there's internal conflict because your identity is not matching the goal. And so if you want to actually live this life, you need to elevate your identity to be the person that is living that life. You need to think like she thinks. You need to believe like she believes. You need to choose differently. And these sound like really simple things to do. Okay. On the surface, all of these sound simple. Our clients right now are going through an 8-week self-image intensive, a deep dive into their own self-image, looking at their identity and going on a journey to elevate their identity piece by piece in a really beautiful, authentic, and structured way. Why? Because most people forget to even consider it and they stay playing small. So the game changer isn't just forcing new habits, but when you actually walk, talk, act, and believe that you are this person that your dreams require, and you elevate your identity to that point, you shift your self-image and how you see yourself, the behavior will naturally follow. And that's the secret to sustainable change. Willpower can only last for so long. And women that are running thriving businesses, they're not necessarily more talented. They're really truly identified and grounded and rooted in the kind of woman, being the kind of woman that runs a company, that has a business, that has a life that aligns with her dreams. Now, what else do I want you to know? I want you to know that others do not need to approve. They don't need to approve of you. They don't need to approve of your goals. They don't need to approve of your dreams. They don't need to know the whole plan. They don't need to know anything. But so often as women, we love sharing things and we go off and we seek approval and we want validation. We want validation from our partner, from our friends, from our family, from our industry. But your vision, it wasn't given to them. It was given to you. So God gave you this divine download. God gave you the vision that you have, and the seeds of your dreams, of your desires, and of the life you want were planted inside you, not someone else. So why need their approval? And if you wait for others to understand what message was downloaded to you before you act, you're going to stay stuck forever. This is really about getting to a point of self-trust. When you start learning who you are and how you operate and truly trust yourself, get to know yourself better than anyone else, you don't need to stay stuck. Don't wait for others' approval. And ironically, the more you approve of your own desires, the more other people are actually going to rise to meet you there. You can't be waiting because there will only be roadblocks in the way. And so you do not need permission. You just need alignment and clarity. And that comes from here, not from someone else, not from somewhere else. Last thing I want you to know is alignment unlocks momentum. Okay, so alignment unlocks momentum. When your inner and outer worlds match, momentum becomes effortless. You are no longer battling this inner critic or sabotaging your own progress because you're flowing in sync with who you're becoming. You're flowing in sync with who you are up here, not down there. And that doesn't mean life is going to be perfect and you're not doing anything and you're just sitting around tanning, getting your nails done, whatever it is that people think luxury might be. No. It means you're working with the thoughts, the feelings, the actions, the energies in your life. Things are working in sync. The actions are congruent with your values. The actions are congruent with the vision. And from that place, your confidence grows, your clarity sharpens, and results start to compound. Now, practically speaking, before taking action, you want to start asking yourself things like, is this what my next level self would do? Is this what this person with these goals and dreams would actually do? Is this how she would make decisions? Is this how she would show up in her life and business? Is this how she would show up at the end of a really exhausting day? Is this how she would show up? Okay. So keep asking yourself and run different circumstances and scenarios in your mind. And you need to know that your job is not to be liked, but your job is to be aligned. So remember, wanting more is not greedy, it's growth. Guilt is a learned emotion. Identity, identity, identity. It is a huge missing link. You've got to know what yours is. Do not wait for others to approve of you or your dreams or desires, and really focus on alignment and aligned action to unlock your momentum. Okay. Otherwise, you're just going to find yourself at a standstill. So what do you do about this all? What do you do about this all? Acknowledge the desire. Okay. Desire is data. Okay. If you're craving more, it's for a reason. Give yourself permission. Say out loud, I give myself permission to want more. I give myself permission to want, fill in the blanks with something specific. So one of the things I used to, these are flowers. I got them yesterday. I went for lunch with a friend, and then there was a beautiful, my favorite flower shop. So I went out and got these. I love them because they smell so good. We've got roses and lilies, and I can't remember what the other ones are. But it's just so beautiful. And I love looking at them. But there was a point in time where I used to be like, ooh, if I get flowers, that's such a waste of money. These cut flowers will be dead at the end of the week. And that was such a poverty way of thinking. And now I'm like, I give myself, I had to, when I first started getting flowers, I had to give myself permission to say, I give myself permission to buy myself flowers. I give myself permission to buy myself the flowers I really want. I give myself permission to go to the special shop where they know how to assemble them and they make everything just beautiful. I had to give myself that permission. I'm very, very good at giving myself permission for those kinds of things. But in the beginning, it was not like that. And so I had to talk myself through it. So if you need to give yourself permission and talk yourself through it, great. The last thing is start thinking from the end. You want to visualize your next life. You want to see what this next life is. You want to see what your dreams are, who you are up at this level. Notice what's different from up here versus where you are. What are you doing differently up here versus where you are? What are you thinking differently up here versus where you are? How are you feeling differently versus where you are? How are you embodying your life? Like, how are you showing up at home differently? How are you making decisions differently? You've got to, what is actually going to be different, so you can start thinking from that place. You mentally transport yourself to that place and literally begin operating and thinking and living from that end in mind. That doesn't mean you just go blow all your money if it's a big and expensive goal. That doesn't mean you abdicate responsibility in your now. But the core basis of how you operate needs to be from that end in mind. So I hope this makes sense. Let us know if you guys do have any questions. And if you want to, if you want me to expand on any of this, we've done several master classes and Lunch and Learn talks about these themes, but we are collecting content. Okay. We are collecting content ideas. So if there's something that you would love for me to speak about or talk about, we will be starting a podcast in October. Really excited to announce that, where we're going to be sharing more about abundance, about health, wealth, relationships, and more. Stay tuned, but more information is to come. And if you do have anything in the abundance field or anything that is related to what we've ever talked about previously, if you have questions, please do send them in so we can start answering them in these Lunch and Learn episodes or in our upcoming podcast. We will also be inviting select guests to join us. So if you're looking for expert speakers on a subject, make your requests today. So my bold action that I would love to hear from you is, what would your next level you want in terms of resources? Because this next level woman is not living in a bubble. She is deeply connected. She is deeply aware. She is deeply, deeply present. And so reach out to us, reach out to our community, either by direct message or even in these chat threads, and let us know what content you would love to help you radically expand your life, because I truly want you to give yourself permission and no longer be available for certain things and step into the beautiful future that you desire. Every single day, do one micro action to take you to your next level you, whether it's saying no to someone, whether it's raising a price, whether it's asking for help, whether it's just resting unapologetically in the middle of the afternoon. Yesterday, I did something different that I don't normally do. I went for a haircut and I spent a few hours with a friend I did not see for a while. And we had a beautiful afternoon, but I didn't sit here and work all day. I gave myself permission to do that on a Tuesday unapologetically, and it felt amazing. And so the next level me would take the time to build those relationships, would take the time to care for herself. So what is it that you're doing to step into your next level of success today? It is not selfish to want more. It is responsible to honor what is calling you forward, because when you expand, you give others the permission to do the same, and you will be sprinkling your fairy dust and sprinkling your goodness all around the world. And we need more positive ripples across the globe. We need more women to pour into themselves and put themselves first. So again, if you have any topics, any questions that you want answered in any of our upcoming Lunch and Learn episodes or in our upcoming podcast, please submit your requests as soon as possible, because we are doing some beautiful planning through to the end of the year. So for now, I will see you again very soon. I'll be back again next week with an amazing topic. Hope you have a beautiful day. I hope you have a beautiful life, and I cannot wait to see you again very, very soon.